What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of HeyBucket Live. I'm your host, Sammy Glantz. This week, I am so excited to introduce one of my very best friends, one of my all-time teammates, my sister. This girl, Chloe Sharabba, elite. That's all I can say. On and off the field, always have been.
Sammy, how are you?
Dude, good to see you.
Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Let's just take it back to the first day we met. I was switching travel ball teams. I was on Batbuster Stith. I'm coming on to a new team. I was actually trying out for the Cruisers, and you weren't there. So they just handed me this girl named Chloe. They stuck me in, the 3-hole because they wanted me to get a bunch of at-bats that day to check me out. I go off as Chloe. I am thriving as Chloe. Bombs. And of course, Phil's like, all right, Sam, let's go. You're on the team. And I was like, sick. But I want to stay, as Chloe. I'm going to ride it while it's hot. And then all of a sudden, I think the next weekend, you come back and you take your name back. And, we didn't really talk. And that's what I remember from that situation.
I was like, who's this new girl? And why was she using my name?
Oh my
and then
God.
and then I think you hit a home run or something, and I was like, hey, nice hit, dude. And then that was the start of it.
And that was the first time you ever spoke to me. I remember it. Like it was yesterday. I was like, are you talking to me? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, why are you asking? And I'm like, because you've never spoken to me before. I didn't even know you knew I existed.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. That's really cool. The lifelong friendship that I'm so grateful that we formed.
Yeah, we always have a good time together. We're always laughing. I love it. And I'm so thankful for the Cruisers and for bringing us together.
And our Cruiser team was pretty good, right?
Oh,
Leah
yeah,
Wodak,
sure.
Kaylee Palazzolo, Caitlin Harmon, Sam Aarons. The list just goes on and on. Like that,
Brindley
I think our whole
Steele,
team went D1.
We were that team. We rolled out on Saturdays and Sundays, ate our donuts for breakfast, and we raked.
Donut in hand, show up at 8:15 for a 9 o'clock game, whatever it was.
And hey, we were always, we made it to the championship. Yeah, we may have lost to Angels Tyson or Stith, but hey, we were always there. We were there.
We were there. 6 games later on a Saturday, 6 back-to-backs. We're like, whatever, we got this.
Yeah,
it's nothing to us.
We had so much fun.
And especially yourself as a player, I always describe you as someone who's loose and you just have fun with everything that you're doing, on and off the field. And I think, yourself and you know how you can achieve that and you know what's best for you. And I think that's something that you do a really good job of.
Thanks, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're a stud, dude. Back in those days too, every scout wanted you. Every friendly, every tournament in Colorado, this kid has got Oklahoma State, you got LSU, you got teams up and down from every part of the country that want you, but you had your heart set on Boston College. Why was that?
So my dad is an East Coast guy, grew up on the East Coast, and he has just always been a big BC fan. Yeah, so from the beginning, I just had my heart set on BC. And honestly, I think of all the schools during the recruiting process, I think BC wanted me the least out of all of them, and I just wanted them the most.
A little hard to get.
Yes, that chase. But it ended up working out, and I love the coaches there. Became really close to them, and at the end of the day, they ended up wanting me back, so that was nice.
Oh, that was cute. Yeah, I mean, they literally wanted you back. You became the grad assistant, right? Right after you graduated, you stayed an extra year and helped out. How was that experience?
So much fun. I never imagined myself going into coaching. And originally I was going to go to grad school and try to 5th year and play on the basketball team. plans changed. That didn't work out. But Ashley, the coach at BC at the time, she was like, come back and help coach. It'll be a lot of fun. And I did that, and it was amazing. It was awesome. It was cool to see the game from another perspective. And yeah, it's cool to coach for my alma mater. So it was nice. It was a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you're still continuing to coach for our, fellow cruisers. I love that.
Yes.
You're doing some private lessons, and you're also helping out with the Batbuster team, with straps. Can you kind of tell us more about the coaching you're doing right now?
So I have been giving defense clinics, fielding clinics, and I help out with a 14U cruiser team, teach them defense, try to help them nail down the fundamentals, have fun. And then I also coach with Dave Lestraps. I'm his assistant for the 16U Batbusters. So that's been really fun. And he has just been such a great mentor to me. And I've been hitting with him. Since I was 10 years old, I think, is when I started hitting with Dave. But the thing with Dave is he's just always been straight up honest with me. And it's helped me get better. And he told me, I'll never forget, he told me, you need to stop trying to hit home runs, Chloe. You're not a home run hitter. like quit it.
Save that for Sam.
Yeah, save it for Sammy. But he's just been straight up with me, told me like it is. And I think that's really helped my game, and it really helped me improve as a hitter and softball player.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we should, take it back to your career now. When you're going into Boston College, you are an elite high school senior incoming freshman at this point. You were correct me if I'm wrong, you were a finalist for the Orange County Female Athlete of the Year, right?
It was, yes.
That's pretty unbelievable. And Stanley Johnson was the male winner, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're coming in as a freshman, and it's not easy for anyone. But I think something that a lot of people might not know about you is it was tough for you, especially because you were a pre-med major, and balancing school and just the grind of softball. I think that was something that you really learned. Like, can you kind of tell us more about the lessons that you learned your first semester at BC?
A lot. I learned a lot that first semester. I remember a bunch of people being like, you're going to major in pre-med and play softball at Boston College? And I was like, yeah. And looking back, just there's no way that was going to happen for me. But freshman year, that freshman fall was really a wake-up call for me. Long story short, I dropped 2 classes, bio and calc. And I had to pass my last 3 classes or I wasn't going to be eligible for the spring, which they brought me in to play softball. And if I wasn't eligible for the spring, I was out. I was gone. But long story short, I did study hall. Last 3 weeks of the semester, I was on academic probation. My head coach helped me get out of it, helped me study, prepared me for my exams, made sure I was ready for my finals, and ended up passing with flying colors, and I was eligible for the spring. But that first semester really traumatized me for sure. That spring semester, school came first, studying all the time. I made honor roll that next semester, vowed I would never let anything like that happen again. So yeah, that was definitely a really big wake-up call. And you got to learn from those experiences, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just, that's probably the last thing you would ever want. Coming in as a freshman, you kind of just want to fit in, just be a good teammate, just work hard. And then now you can't even go to workouts. You are just sitting there, studying, and you're like, what did I just do? And we were talking about it, and like, you kind of refer to that as like your rock bottom.
That was definitely
and then from there you were on a roll, you were killing it,
Yeah. I learned.
Yeah.
I did learn.
Learn the hard way, but you still got there.
Definitely the hard way.
Did you have anything like that on the field? Did you have any times where, you were going through a slump or you just weren't feeling good in the field? Were there any times like that where you're like, okay, we got to figure this out. Like, this is not working for me.
Yeah. Going into my junior year, I did not pass my bench press. So I was benched for all 8 fall games because I couldn't pass my bench press. And that was really tough for me, mentally and physically. That summer I had gone down to 138, really kicked my cardio up, told myself I was going to be in the best shape of my life my last 2 years of college softball. And I had to bench 145. I'll never forget it. And I just could not put it up. And so I didn't play in a single fall ball game. And it was really, really, really tough. And there are times where I wanted to just transfer and leave and maybe take the easy road out. But my parents encouraged me to stick it out. I had my teammates. And I mean, at that point, junior year at Boston College, I'd made so many friends and relationships. So it would have been, I think, a bad decision if I had left because I couldn't pass my bench press. So definitely grateful that I worked through it. I persevered. I stayed there, and eventually got it up.
Yeah, I mean, you must have, because you go on to be first team All ACC. That's incredible to me. The fact that I didn't know that you almost transferred, and you still go on to have an incredible career at BC. How did you push past that?
My dad wrote me a letter before spring of my junior year, and he was like, I loved watching you flow around that diamond from 8 to 18 years old. And I want you to find that fire again and play on your toes and have fun and just go out and show everybody who the best player on the field is. And obviously he's biased, but grateful for the letter my dad wrote me because it really helped me out. I'd look at that before games and series. And it was big for me.
That's so special. I love your parents. Like, they're basically my parents. I love your whole family. I can't thank them enough for all of our breakfasts, going to travel ball games, and Min waking up early, making us a little breakfast burrito, and Ray staying late and, giving us some hitting advice or whatever here and there if we need it. And that's been something really special, that travel ball's given us. And it's just like the lifelong friendship. So forever grateful for your parents. I also really admire how your parents kind of went about the way of letting you make your own decisions. We briefly touched on it, but you quit softball your sophomore year of high school. After Colorado, you had a bad Colorado, right? It was your first one after your freshman year?
Yeah.
And
Colorado, after my freshman
you were
year.
done.
Yeah, I was over it. I was done, burnt out. I decided, all right, I'm going to go play basketball full time, try to go to basketball and play in college and be a point guard. And that was my dream and my new goal. And my parents were like, are you sure? Are you sure this is the best thing for you? And I was like, yeah, like I'm done with softball. I don't want to play anymore. So they let me quit and they put me on one of the best AAU teams around Orange County, South Orange County, LA area. And I did it for 4 or 5 months. And then February came around and the high school softball coach, Alan Cowett, he really, really was like, just play like for fun. It'll be fun. It's just high school. And I had some best friends on that team too. So I was like, yeah, I'll just play high school softball. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. And I played. And that's actually when Oklahoma State came to one of our high school games because our senior, Tiffany Mickelson, was committed there. And they saw me and they called Dave right away. And Dave was like, oh yeah, sorry, she doesn't play travel softball anymore. She's a basketball player. And slowly after that, I was like, all right, like I think I'm finding the love again. I'm realizing that softball will give me better opportunities collegiately than basketball will. And that's kind of how I came back, and then came back for that Colorado, that sophomore year. So a year later, came back, and that's when I met you.
And hey, full circle.
And that the rest is history. I stayed with softball after that.
It's so incredible to me that not only were you good enough of an athlete to play in college softball, which is absolutely incredible, but you could have played basketball too. You are so athletic in the way that you move and the way that you do things on the field. Honestly, you're one of the smoothest players I've ever played with. It looks effortless for you, seriously. And you know me, I'm trying so hard
right now.
I'm working so hard, and that's just how I am. You know, I'm always taking extra swings. I'm always never ready. And you're just like, hey, I'm ready. Let's go. Whenever you're ready, like, let's go. I'll just hit this home run. Effortless.
I don't know. Definitely wasn't as effortless in college. Definitely had to put those extra reps in. But yeah, I'm lucky. They've just come pretty easy to me. So, and it's my passion, my love. So
how important do you think it was being a two-sport athlete? Like, how did that help you growing up?
So important. I think basketball made me better in softball and vice versa. I think the fact that I had to stop and go on the court and jump, and I think everything I had to do in basketball, physically related, just helped me in softball just be more athletic and more fluid. And I think basketball made me a better softball player.
You and Leah Wodak, you guys would always, shout out to Leah. We love you. Come on our show. You guys were two of the most athletic kids on the team, and you both played basketball. Can you kind of tell us about, you know, how you guys would be running back and forth from friendlies to basketball tournaments, this and that?
Yeah, it was so fun. I think at the time I was like, oh my gosh, 3 softball games. And now we got to go play 2 basketball games with our club team. I thought at the time it was a lot, but when I look back on it, it was so much fun. And Jim Wodak was one of our coaches on Cruisers. So Leah and I would play 3 games, a friendly or a couple tournament games. And then Phil would let Jim, Leah, and I dip, and we'd go
so cool.
to the basketball court and play. So it was awesome having that flexibility from Phil and just being able to do what we loved, and we loved playing basketball together.
Yeah, absolutely. Something about, you know, Phil and Lynn and that whole Cruisers team too is that I think we all kind of thrived there. Like, that was like an environment that was perfect for us. You know, like I started performing a lot better when I was there under that environment. And I think sometimes that can get lost in college. What are some, I'm totally teeing you up for this right now, but what are some memories that you may have in Boston? That's a new city for you. And did you maybe go to a Red Sox game or something?
So many good memories in Boston. Yes. I was a junior. I was 21. Maybe had one too many beers. And it was David Ortiz's last game as a Red Sox. And I snuck into the Red Sox World Series game in 2017. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And I ended up getting my friends in with me. And we sat probably like 5 rows back from home plate, watched Big Poppy's last at bat. We're at a World Series game, like, for free. What? It was
only you.
I'm telling
you,
cool.
Only you can pull this off. You know I can't.
It was so cool.
Something terrible would happen.
And get us
I would trip. I would break my head open. We have to call the ambulance.
Throw me under the bus.
Yeah, then throw you under the bus. My friend snuck
It was all Chloe's idea.
I totally would. I'm not going down without you. You're coming down with me.
Yep, always.
Always.
But yeah, a lot of good memories in Boston.
Yeah, that's so sick. We still have to go on a little trip out there. I really want to go.
Definitely have to.
Yeah. Speaking of other trips that we've gone on, do you remember anything about our Maui trip when we were juniors?
Oh my God. Biggest thing for Maui trip. Me and my little brothers, we climbed this cliff and we made
Shout out
Sam
Ryan
do it
and
with
Blake,
us.
my little brothers too. Thank you.
We get up top and it's high up. It's pretty high. And Ryan jumps. Blake,
Easy.
he's like, what? Is he like 7 years old at the time? 8?
He must have been 7 or 8.
He gets up there. He's like, come on, let's go.
He's off. He
right
flies
away.
off. My 2 cousins jump off. Everyone's in.
Then I go.
Yeah,
then
you're done.
I'm waiting for you down below. Come on, Sammy, let's go. And you jump, dude. You jump. And you literally, I've never seen anyone jump off a cliff like this, but you are literally, like, you look like you're sitting in a chair in midair. And I was like, oh no, this landing is not going to be good.
Oh no.
Ooh, you landed hard. Hard. And you had bruises on your hamstrings, I think. And your butt.
Oh no. It was the jump hurt around the island, I think. Everyone, I feel like time stopped, honestly. Right when I left, and by the way, it was after your brother, Blake, comes back up to the cliff and he says, all right, Sam, let's go. Like, don't be such a wuss. Everyone else went already. I'm already back up here to go again. And he's like, just go. And I was like, all right, Blake, like, I can't have this 7-year-old, talking smack. And so I'm like, whatever. Everyone else can do it. They're fine. I can do it. I jump, and somehow I did it wrong. Shocking, right?
It was insane.
What about my surfing skills? Do you think, maybe later today we can work on those, or am I just kind of a lost cause out there?
Dude, okay, so my fault, I brought you out into a huge set.
Thank you for finally owning up to it, because you told me that this set was going to be perfect for beginners, that I could bring my wave storm and my 9-foot board, and we could just catch a couple waves, get my confidence up, and you led me astray.
Dude, I remember we were standing there. It was a couple weeks ago. We're standing there. I'm like, you ready? You're like, yeah, let's do it. We paddle out. I think I get out there and I'm like looking around and I'm like, where's Sammy? And 15 minutes later, finally you make it out. I was like, dude, where were you? And you're just getting smashed by these waves. But the thing I love about you, dude, you persevered right through it. You came out, you found a way. You didn't let those big waves scare you. You came right out there.
Thank you. These are the skills that we take from softball guys, just pushing through. And then once I finally get out there, not only are we not catching any waves, and we're just admiring the 12-year-old studs in Laguna just shredding, I end up getting yelled at by the lifeguard. And that was kind of a scarring moment.
I saw that I was on my board. I saw that from afar and I was dying. I was like, what was I?
I was like in the swim zone or something?
Yeah. Yeah, you're about to take some swimmers out with that surfboard.
It's not clearly marked. I don't know where is the swim zone versus the surf zone. I was just, honestly, I was just floating anyways. I wasn't even doing any harm.
You're getting a tan on that board. That's what you're doing.
You're right. I was absolutely tanning. That's just my hobby, though. It's my beach hobby.
So funny. Good times.
Okay. Are you ready for our speed round?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Who is your favorite athlete of all time and why?
Brett Favre. He made me fall in love with football. He is a gunslinger. He plays fearless and reckless and runs around out there like he's a little kid on a little rec ball field. He's amazing. And I love the way he plays the game. He plays for the love of the game. He's my sports hero.
Love that. And that's definitely how you play the game. And by the way, how you throw the football. If you guys have not seen Chloe Sharabba throw a football, like, you are missing out. Didn't you try out for your high school team or something?
The head coach had me come out and to a practice one day. It wasn't like a tryout, but I went out and threw passes and worked out with the boys and everything. It was pretty nuts.
Dude, I don't know how you didn't make that team. Like, honestly, you have one of the best arms I've ever seen.
Thank you, Sam, but I don't know if I could have taken those hits.
All right, maybe just like flag football or something. We'll stick with that.
Yeah, a little flag football.
You'd be All-American.
Better at softball and basketball.
I think so. It's definitely a close third. All right. What was the best banana bread you've ever eaten, and who made it?
Best what?
Banana bread.
Oh my gosh. Hands down, Sammy Glance's banana bread.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think I ate like 2 pounds to myself. And Dimitri and those boys were going nuts for it.
Our boys devoured that. I have never seen a group of men, actually, I could be wrong. Maybe guys just like love binge eating desserts, but I was trying to cut slices and they weren't having it. They're like, Sam, these slices are pathetic. Just move out of the way. Give me the knife.
They're going in with their hands.
There was definitely some finger food action on that banana bread, and I just felt upset because Ray and Min didn't really get any, and that was why I was upset. But whatever, I'll just make another batch.
They'll try it. They'll have to try it sometime. It's the best.
It's the best. Let's talk about your neighborhood block really quick. I'd be a fool if I didn't bring this up. How many D1 athletes live on your cul-de-sac?
I want to say we have like 9. There's, I think, 54 homes in our cul-de-sac, and I think 9 of us went D1.
That's
pretty cool.
Mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, it's nice because we have such good memories just growing up, just being outside, playing flag football games, playing basketball games, playing wiffle ball games. I think our childhood had a big part in how we grew up to become athletes and love sports the way we do. But yeah, it's been really unique, and we're like a family here.
Yeah, that's why I love hanging at your house too. You know, we just like always have a good time. You know, I'm like, oh, hey, I'm home. Hey, everyone. I got Ryan and Blake, and it's just so much fun, you know, just being around everyone. And you guys always have a good time.
It's the best.
Yeah. All right, last question, and then we'll call it a wrap. But what do you want to eat for dinner tonight, honestly?
You already know the answer to this. Taco stand, dude. When you go to San Diego, you got to have one of those burritos.
We should just be sponsored, honestly, at this point.
We should. We fund their business. I would if I lived walking distance like you do.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, get your butt down here so we can go get our burritos.
I will be there soon.
All right. Thanks for coming on, dude. Love you.
Thanks for having me, Sammy. Love you lots.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. For more content like this, be sure to check out HeyBucket Live on YouTube and FastPitchFilms.com. I'm your host, Sammy Glantz. See you next time.